Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers, presented by Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the afternoon. Joining me live in the Xfinity Mobile studio, it is Broad Street Hockey's own Kelly Hinkle. What's going on today, Hinks?
Long time no see, bud.
Yeah,
Like
it's been a little while. Every time you're on, I feel like it's a new month.
I know.
Like the sun is setting at a later hour.
It's true.
Every time. But we are happy to be joined by Kelly Hinkle today, as Charlie just continues to enjoy never working, apparently.
I love this for him, honestly. He's such a diva.
You know, I had to go looking for other people's tweets about Carson Bjarnason today to see what the hell was going on, because this guy, he just loves to not work. Charlie is on much deserved vacation. He'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's the only day Charlie and I will be together, but it is Hinks and I together today. And where I want to start, Kelly, is Carson Bjarnason was in fact called up from Lehigh Valley to Philly. Now, of course, practices begin today as the Olympics move into the medal round, and the league comes back, I believe, on the 24th or 25th. Teams start practicing this week. If you were like claimed on waivers, you have to report to your team today, things of that nature. And the Flyers need a second goalie for practice. Vladar is still over in Italy, and I guess Sam Ersson is still injured. So it is Kolosov and Bjarnason in net for the Flyers, which honestly, I'm all for.
Good, should be some good practice for the dudes that score goals. Although, no, Carson Bjarnason really hasn't seen NHL time, so good practice for him, getting shot on by players that are a lot better than the ones he's usually facing. Interesting that Sam Ersson is still not functional. That seems bad, but I guess
maybe it's just precautionary.
That's true.
We haven't got an update. Maybe they haven't seen him until today, and they're like, "Hey, how's your groin?" And if it's like, "Oh, it's a little sore," they're like, "Well, we got a week. Let's just call up the kid and see how it goes." But yeah, Bjarny is up, as is Kolosov, with Vladar still overseas, and I suppose Ersson on the shelf, and that's really all the news that we have seen today, Kelly.
News is good news, if you ask me.
The thing I want to focus on today is I heard you.
Wait, before we move on from the news, sorry,
okay.
Just because I made this point on the show last time I was there. Matvei Michkov was on an island enjoying himself during this Olympic break.
There were some workout videos. I think he alternated.
He was working out in a hotel gym. We've all been there. The equipment's not the greatest. You can get some weights moving, okay, but a little too much leisure. I better see him pop off, is all I'm saying.
We will tomorrow. I'm gonna try to avoid as much Michkov talk today, because tomorrow is Michkov Mania. Oh. We are doing that all day tomorrow, our entire show. We might even do an episode of the shootout afterwards that's basically just even more Michkov Mania. Just to knock it all out one day, do the whole 1 day of the break talking about that. But yeah, I guess I follow him on Instagram. I see his stories now and then. I feel like he's the only athlete I may actually follow on Instagram other than Brandon Graham, and he doesn't count. I always say he's my wife's cousin, even though that's not a real last name. But I think people have said, like, hey, isn't he? I've gotten cryptic tweets like, hey, isn't Michkov working out over the thing? And I figured that's what they were referring to. I hadn't seen anything, but it's people being like, hey, I thought he was staying around to get in better shape, and apparently he went on vacation. I don't know.
Unbelievable. Who goes on vacation on vacation?
I think it's bold of you to presume we've all been there when it comes to a hotel gym. Okay. And then I do remember my Jackass days when I wanted to obviously be on that show when I grew up. Yeah, would crank up the treadmill as high as it would go, throw myself across the room. So yeah, I have been in a hotel gym. It's happened. All right. Anyway, today is scenario day. Always with the scenarios. Today is scenario day. I just wanted to talk through a couple of different things that may happen in these final 26 regular season games, Kelly. And the very first thing I wanted to get to is the standings. And what has to happen for the Flyers to make the playoffs? Because it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Right now, when you look at the Eastern Conference wildcard and playoff races, you look at the Islanders there. That's the third spot in the Metro. They are on pace for I think 97, 98 points. Boston in the second wild card on pace for about 99 points or so. Flyers right now are on pace for 89 or 90 points. So they're going to need, let's say, one of these teams to fall off a bit, but also really, really push the pace. Say these teams end up with 98, 99 points, somewhere in there. The Flyers need 39 points in the final 26 games to get to 100 for the season. That's a 123-point pace. So
basically, like a stretch.
Basically, it's over. We will hit what will this be? 5th or 6th straight season. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20, a 6th straight season franchise record out of the playoffs without a miracle run over these final 26 games of the year. And that's a bummer. Deep down, I know this is good. And honestly, the more losing they do, the better at this point. They need high-end talent. The only way to really get yourself in the mix for it is to draft it. There are other ways. Signings, offer sheets, trades. But this is the best way of stocking your cupboard. I intellectually understand that. But damn it, I miss the playoffs, Kelly. I really do.
I miss them too. And it's we've been getting these little teases of what it used to be like. I mean, it's pretty much only the Anaheim games at this point.
Yeah.
But just these little glimpses of what we used to have, William, all the time.
It was a given.
Yeah, things that there are people that work at Broad Street Hockey that are fans that are new enough that they've never experienced the Wells Fargo Xbox Center as as crazy as it can be. And it's I need them to understand what they're missing. And I don't know when we're going to get there because
I'm talking, and listen, I wasn't fortunate enough or old enough to go to playoff games at the Spectrum. I did go to Phantoms.
Just
games
the Phantoms there. Ones.
That was a whole thing. But even 2008, that place was a riot scene. In terms of the playoff atmosphere, so damn fun. Just the amount of trouble should have gotten into in those days. It was ridiculous, and it's been so long. I badly miss it. But we have the next best thing today, Kelly. Because Charlie is back tomorrow, and then I'm off on Thursday and Friday. We got to get one in before Dad comes back. It's time for Tankathon. That's right. We have to do it. Without further ado, one time here before the league gets back in action and before Charlie comes back. Brenna, spin that wheel. All right, let's see how they did.
12.
Stay at 12? Is that their spot right now, I think? They didn't move. Okay. I actually didn't look at the standings before we started, and it's too small on my screen to actually see. I had to get close like an old person. But yeah, the scenarios under which the Flyers continue their losing trajectory and improve their draft position seem far more likely than the scenarios under which they played a 123-point pace for a month and a half. I guess two months basically. And somehow get themselves into the playoffs. But there is always Tankathon. There is always the draft lottery. And don't forget, the Islanders, 10-1 last year. It did happen.
Exactly. And honestly, we reached this point last season too. Last season, there was a little moment where it's ooh, maybe they could get there. And then you get to the point where it's okay, well, technically they could still get there, but like a million things would have to fall precisely their way in order for them to get there. And that's kind of where we are right now, I think. Kind of like sure, technically it could happen, but I think we all know it's not going to. And last year, they were able to suck enough down the stretch that, we ended up with a pretty good draft pick. So maybe that's what we'll do again this year.
It seems more likely than not, given, it's going to be a lot of games in a lot of days. So, like right now, Carson Bjarnason, I realize it's just for practice and there's another week before they're back, but like Carson Bjarnason's in the NHL right now, technically. Like if that were to occur and he plays in a game, I can't imagine it would go well in his first pro season where he has really, really dropped off in the last month or so. And that was to be expected. That happens. That's shooters figure out. You get worn down. It's a hard schedule, hard travel. And listen, the AHL is no joke.
No.
And Kolosov's been up in the NHL, so he's had to shoulder more of a workload. I'm not like out on Bjarnason. I'm just saying, like, if he were to play in the NHL this year, I assume he gets lit up like Cal Heater.
I would think so. And it's not like anyone expected Carson Bjarnason to like crack the NHL at this stage of the game anyway. Like he's not supposed to be ready. So it's fine.
If they somehow suffered 3 goalie injuries, I would want them to like claim a goalie on waivers or something. I don't even want to subject him to this at this point.
Wait, speaking of goalies, can I derail the show for a second? I had a thought.
We have nothing but time, Kelly.
Do you think, and this kind of like helps the Tankathon kind of effort that we've got going here. So Dan Vladar not having a stellar performance in the Olympics. And like, to be fair, you're playing all-star teams. You know what I mean? Like it's not an easy.
He gave up 3 goals to the French on 12 shots.
Oh yeah, it was the French. Never mind.
Yeah.
And I was wondering to myself, like, are the Olympics going to destroy Dan Vladar enough that the season is just completely gone? Like, is his confidence going to be shot to hell?
I think the two things can be separated, like, especially if he only gets into one game. Like, he was backing up. He got into the one game against France. Vemelka hasn't even dressed, I don't think. And
no,
I assume Dostal will be Czechia's goalie. That said, they will have a back-to-back at some point. So maybe he gets into another one. I'm not looking at the schedule right now. Did he play today? I actually haven't seen what's been going on in the last like day or two.
Unclear. I have been at work.
Yeah, but I do think there's a possibility, given how little he's going to have played over the course of a month.
Yeah.
Vladar did back up today. Thank you, Brennan.
Okay. Thank you.
There is a possibility he's like at least rusty if his confidence isn't shot to hell. Like there's a chance he's just like, dude, I've played 2 games in the last month.
That's
like,
true.
I'm sorry. I'm not really up to NHL speed. The game I played was against the freaking French. Like they got 12 shots on goal in 60 minutes. That's some Flyer stuff right there.
Sure is.
But yeah, I do think that is a possibility given like what we have seen from this team and like the goaltending situation. Well, we're really going to probably be leaning on Vladar. And if he's just rusty out of the gate, suddenly now we got to go to Ersson and we don't even know if he's healthy at this point. And then it's Kolosov. Like, I think goaltending could move us down. If you are one who is hoping to see those Tankathon odds improve, I do think the goaltending, including Dan Vladar, could be a reason that happens. All right. On the other side, we are going to talk about, let's just say, some things have to happen for the Flyers to make the playoffs. Honestly, this isn't even, like, going through the numbers, they're not going to. Like, it's basically impossible.
Not with that attitude.
It's just really independent scenarios of things that could happen that may influence how we feel about certain players and parts of the team after these final 26 games are played. We will talk about that on the other side. Okay, Brennan says Czechia faces Canada tomorrow, and Vladar could potentially start because it's a back-to-back. All right, yeah, so we're going to talk about stuff starting with Sam Ersson on the other side, but we got to take our first break. In a few months, my wife and I are taking an Italian vacation. We're going over to Italy for a friend's destination wedding. We couldn't be more excited. Now, it's going to be a major expense, but managing your money doesn't have to be a struggle this year if you use Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It's my go-to tool for a New Year's financial reset, reviewing spending over the holidays, setting fresh budgets, and getting ready for 2026. With automated weekly money recaps and tracking progress towards future financial goals, it's easier than ever to stay financially fit in the short and the long term. And it's helped users save over $200 per month on average after joining. This new year, achieve your financial goals for good. Monarch is the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long. Use code PHLY at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code PHLY. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. You got to check out brand new games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, a BetParx exclusive. You can play blackjack, you can play roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption and 88 Fortunes. You can play all your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are, and new users right now get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Play hot online slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders, and all your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. It's the only app I ever use to play all my favorite casino games in the palm of my hand. Just go to betparx.com and download the app right now to enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's go Flyers. All right, Kelly. I'm glad to hear the internet is definitely not an issue now. We were worried.
Never an issue with Xfinity.
Our great friends at Xfinity diagnosed and fixed an issue before there even was an issue with your connection specifically. So we're really, really excited about that, and we thank our studio sponsor, Xfinity.
Homies at Xfinity.
Right. So my first scenario, Kelly, which might be the least likely, other than like, could they make the playoffs, we said earlier, might be the least likely, or at least the one people don't want to hear about as a possibility. But I suppose the possibility exists. What if Sam Ersson has a strong end to the season? Sam has a strong end of the season, then what? I said this to Steve yesterday. And you know, when we talked to Boosh and JJ, Charlie asked them about the goaltending situation and like Sam Ersson, the trajectory of his career, and you know, could he really salvage what he's got left of this year? And they're like, what's he going to get in the final 26 games? Really, 8 to 10 starts. Is that going to make up? Is that going to change anyone's mind about what Sam Ersson is and has been in the NHL, Kelly? Because I am looking at Sam Ersson since he became a full-time NHLer in the 23-24 season. So 116 starts, 122 total appearances. These are basically his career numbers minus like the 10 games he got his little tryout the year prior. Now for a stretch of 2.5 months while he was backing up and then became tandem at the end with Carter Hart, he went 12-3-2 with a 1.84 and a 9.30. He was awesome in those, I think, 17 starts, 18 appearances. Really, really good. Made us excited about him and his future here. But other than that time period, since 2023-24, you see the record, it's not even above Hockey 500. The goals against, over 3. The save percentage, below 875. I mean, this is not a very good goaltender, and I don't know what 8 to 10 more starts could possibly do to convince anyone otherwise.
I mean, this one in particular is an extremely like, and what if monkeys fly out of my butt situation. Like, I knew that the sample size that people like our pal Charlie were hanging their hat on, and maybe Sam Ersson's good, like maybe he is. And I knew it was a small stretch of games where he was actually good. I didn't realize it was only 18. Like it's not a lot of games. And I know that there were like good games peppered into that.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's not like he had
I mean?
any other.
Right.
But it's like this was the sustained stretch
That's
of
when he was
success
good.
that he has had.
Yeah.
And the numbers aren't just good, they're phenomenal.
Right.
But like,
and
the numbers the other way are worse than those are good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't see it happening, number 1. But even if it does, like, okay, cool, like, does that erase everything else that we saw this season and last season? No, it
I
doesn't.
think the most positive thing I could say is a strong end to the season. I would be accepting of them giving him a qualifying offer because he does have another year of restricted free agency before he hits
Yeah.
UFA. He is still under team control this summer and going into next season. And they go out and get somebody else, but tell him you can compete in camp. Yeah. You can be our number 3. You can be first call up, like whatever that situation might be. But he'd have to pass through waivers. Spoiler, he'd clear. Like,
but what if he doesn't?
Then you rid yourself of the Sam
know.
Ersson headache. Good luck to you, dude. If you figure it out somewhere else,
Good for you.
all the praise in the world belongs to you and your work ethic and determination to stick with it.
Sure.
I don't see it happening. I definitely don't see it happening here.
Yeah.
That is, like you said, in terms of likelihood, it is the most ridiculous. Like, even if it is good, so what? That's kind of my thing. Like, how good would it have to be to make me go, ooh, maybe? Like, how good?
Not like Dominic Hasek good? Like, it's not happening.
5 shutouts? Like, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. And honestly, I feel like it would be more annoying than anything. Like, I would be like,
yes.
Oh, now you're going to start winning us games?
Yes.
Now you're going to start stealing? Like,
no, it would be
trying to lose because all the hopes are gone. Like,
yeah.
Now you're going to be the guy. Cool. Thanks a lot.
It would be spiteful.
Yes.
Like, that would be those would be spite wins. I would hold him personally responsible for having to hear people bitch about us drafting 12th.
Yes.
Like, that is, I would hold that. That would be my lasting memory of Sam Ersson. It is your fault 100%. That you sucked for 2 years. And then when it didn't matter, you cost us, like the 5th pick or something. Like, that is how, honestly, he has a strong end to the season. Then what? I'm even more mad at him.
Exactly.
Like, at least now I'm just like, all right, he's no good. That happens. We gave him a shot. It didn't work. So be it. I don't begrudge him anything. He's just not very good. If he were to start winning now, I'd be legitimately upset.
Exactly. That's exactly where I am. Don't do this to me.
All right, let's move on to Sean Couturier because I have a couple of Coots scenarios. So
here we go.
First, he is currently on a 29-game goal drought.
Yeah.
There's 26 games left. What if Sean Couturier ends the season on a 55-game goal-scoring drought?
I got to tell you, and I hate it, but it seems...
It's so funny.
So likely. Like, I feel like I would be surprised if he doesn't because, like, Buddy's trying everything. Like, apparently he got, like, a 5-year-old stick out. He's trying to use that. He was using, like, his other people's stick. Like, he's trying everything to get himself going. And he's just having a real bad time out there.
And that's, like, the a-hole in me thinks it would be hilarious. But, like, it's Sean Couturier. He's been here forever. I respect the hell out of him as a player. It's not his fault he got hurt. He just did. It's not his fault Chuck Fletcher and offered him the contract. I don't want this to be like how he's remembered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 55 games would be really funny. That's what 29 plus 26 is. I didn't screw that math up, right? That makes
sounds
sense.
about right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm not going to check it, but it sounds good enough.
Remember, all I could think about when I was doing this, Kelly, remember that last year of RJ Umberger?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the return of RJ in the Hartnell trade.
Yeah.
Well, he had a shorter contract, so the buyout, like, we're acquiring a guy because the buyout's not going to be as bad as the other guy. Anyway, I do think, like, the math was correct. It was just annoying because I liked Scott Hartnell. And RJ Umberger, clearly broken. But that last year, I think it was 2015-16, he only played 39 games, Umberger did. But he was dressed for 32 of the first 47. He didn't score in any of them. 32-game goal drought to start his year. finally scored in his 33rd game. It was the team's 53rd, so he sat a little again. Coots is just 3 games shy of matching that. Like, I was in the press box at the time. There were a couple of times I let my emotion come out when I was in the press box and was like, sorry. When Umberger finally scored that goal, I started effing laughing, like hysterically, because he just looked up and like to the heavens, and it was like, I finally got one. He also did score in his final game to give him 2. It was game 82. Last game of his career, he scored on the power play. So he got to go out on a bit of a happy note, but I'm thinking back to how bad I thought that season was. Coots could match that before the end of next week.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. Like, we are stuck with Sean Couturier. We're not going to buy him out. He's not going to be traded. So, like, I need this not to be his final form. You know what I mean? Like, I need him to be able to remember how to score goals sometimes. So I would like to see him, you know, maybe 10 goals. 1 every other game. Like, let's go wild. It seems unlikely, but like, you know, get 1. I think if he gets 1, he might loosen up or something. I don't know.
Because there's so much money and time left, the PA and the league might just be like, no, this is salary cap circumvention. But we have seen so much recently of guys on contracts that are just like, terminate my contract. And we just saw it with Yegor Zamula. Like, just nobody wants me at 1.7. Clearly an overpay. Let me go play somewhere for league minimum and reprove my worth. Maybe if you make it like, yeah, man, we're going to scratch you every night, you could get a mutual termination.
He's the captain of the team, Bill.
And whose fault is that? Like,
I know.
Listen,
John Tortorella's, I guess.
I see the play driving numbers. I understand all that. He's not nearly as bad as we're making him out to be. But he hasn't scored since his 33rd birthday, and older players typically don't get better.
No.
Like, it's not a disaster outright yet, I guess, but it's barreling towards disaster, Kelly.
I know, but I don't know how I guess the only thing that you could do is sit him down and like you said, be like, we can't play you. Could you let us trade you somewhere? And then I would imagine they have to retain. And then, like, do you want to have just dead cap when you're going into the time when you're supposed to be ramping up and acquiring talent? I don't know if that's good. I don't think you could possibly trade him for the full.
They have a ton of cap space, but even Sean Couturier at 50% is like a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. What's he at? 7.75, so like under $4 million, I guess. It's not the worst. But like, do you want to carry that dead cap? I don't know.
It's some long length of time.
It's this year and 3 more, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a rough situation.
I just don't know how you get out of it.
And I will ask, though, what if the time off does him well and he puts up the numbers he put up in the first 26 games of the season, 5 goals, 12 assists. And that would be 0.65 points a game, 54-point pace. It would put him at 43 for the year. He had 45 points last year. Say he has 17 points. How you feeling?
I feel better. That's for sure. I mean, I think, you know, he's the type of player that I think this kind of extended break does well for.
Very
you know
much.
I mean, like, first of all, he's way too in his head because he hasn't scored in 100 years. So getting off the ice, distracting yourself. Hopefully he took himself on a little vacation. Like, he could have used one. Relax. You're rested. Your body's
chamber for a month.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You've healed up a little bit. You come back. Maybe you can find your game again. That would be good. Because again, like, I'm not happy, but I'm okay with the idea of Sean Couturier remaining on this team for the length of the contract if he can be a good enough 4C. Like, that's where we are with him. This version of him, I don't even know if it clears that bar.
Now, and again, I know the play driving numbers, the XG numbers are good. He's still their best face-off guy. I get all of this, Kelly. But I have some fun facts about Coots' little scoring drought here. Because,
are they fun?
Yeah, they're not like actually fun. Is this real?
Brenna, I don't know what I did. I'm sorry.
Did Brenna do that, or did it just happen when you say fun?
I don't know what happened.
Brenna says she doesn't know. That's awesome.
I think it's an Apple thing, and I think I made a gesture that made it happen. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry, Brenna.
That's hilarious. Anyway, some fun facts here. So, December the 7th, 2025, a day that will live in infamy, perhaps as Sean Couturier's last goal.
Oh, no.
He scored it. It was the day of his 33rd birthday. Since December 8th, Kelly, the day after his birthday, 3 players have scored 20 goals since then. Steven Stamkos, Zach Hyman, and Connor McDavid. Pretty great players.
They're good.
All right. Understandable. That's a lot of goals.
Steven Stamkos was still
guys.
Doing that,
they're all-time greats.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good for him.
66 players, though, have scored 10 or more. That's a lot. That's a whole lot of players have scored 10 goals while you have 0. 253 players have scored 5 in this time period in which Coots has none. Coots has 5 for the whole season. 596 players have scored at least 1 goal since December the 8th. That is out of 788 skaters that have dressed for at least a game in that span. So Coots is in a 192-way tie for 597th in goal scoring since the day after his 33rd birthday. The play driving numbers could be 100%. But if you actually never score, expected goals equals 0 because they never, ever go in. You have to score now and then. And I'm not saying this is going to be a 55, 56 game goal drought, whatever it would be if this lasted. I'm just saying the little things he does, the play driving, the face-offs, leadership, if you want to throw that in there because he's the captain, none of that matters if you never, ever score.
No, I agree, but I do think that you can't completely discount the underlying numbers because what we take from those is like, okay, we should expect that he will come out of this because he's doing the things that are supposed to lead to goals being scored. You have to think that eventually that's going to happen. Even if it's just dumb luck, you get one. And that's important because, you know, the alternative that he's not scoring goals and also the underlying numbers suck. That would be worse. So at least we can hang our hat a little bit on like, okay, he's technically still playing well. But you are absolutely correct. You have to score sometimes.
I think there's one way to preserve a useful Sean Couturier. And it will never, ever happen in the NHL. It'll never happen under a regime whose president is very, very aware of the idea this city has of load management and the Sixers.
I was going to say, are we going to talk load management?
It's you have to preserve him somehow, and it is via load management. He can't play in back-to-backs. You just can't do them. The third game in 4 nights, maybe that one's out. Maybe he only plays 2 instead of 3 and 4 games a week. Yeah. There has to be some way to take the load off of him if you're going to keep him for the length of this contract. But they won't. And it's not just a Flyers problem. It's a hockey problem. They hate this idea. Yeah. But quite simply, the man can't do it anymore. That's obvious. And there are some redeeming qualities that you might be able to, really, really maximize if he doesn't have to play 82 and soon 84 games a year. If it's 65 or 70, maybe he can. I really, really fear that this is the beginning of a
real fall off.
Bad fall. Listen, we all knew it wasn't going to be the same, but he could do some things. My fear is what's it look like in a year and a half when we're playing 84 games and all right, it's not a condensed schedule for the Olympics, but we're doing the World Cup. Like, yeah. All right.
Yeah, of all the things that are annoying about the NHL and the hockey man ethos, this resistance to like resting your guys so that they are better is insane to me. I hate
I'm
it
not
so much.
saying you just say, hey, man, half our team ain't playing tonight, deal with it.
No.
I'm saying if you have a 33-year-old veteran who clearly has lost several steps and has had several back surgeries, it's okay for him not to play 3 and 4 every other week.
Right, and you don't have to like make it a thing. Like you don't have to healthy scratch him and not tell you why you're doing it. Like just be like, yeah, Sean Couturier needs a rest. So
yeah, this isn't discipline. It's just like his back is no good.
Right, we're trying to make him better. But you can't even do that. Like if you were to even try to do this, it would just be like an unexplained healthy scratch. And then everyone's like, oh, Sean Couturier's in the doghouse. And then it becomes a whole thing. And that's why they never do it. And it's very stupid. And Rick Tocchet's never going to do it.
Very much doubt he would accept it. And I don't think
he wouldn't like it.
Most organizations, if any, would actually do it. All right, we got to get this show back on track. On the other side, I'm going to ask Kelly about one thing I wonder that might sway her opinion of Rick Tocchet in these final 26 games, but we got to take our second break. Have you ever had one of those days where you're moving nonstop and suddenly you realize you forgot to eat? Believe it or not, it's happened to me, and that's why I've been loving what Wawa is doing right now. Wawa now has $5 deals all day, and honestly, it just makes life that much easier. If you're starting early, you can grab the $5 big breakfast meal deal. We're talking a sizzly, we're talking a hash brown, and any size hot or iced coffee. That's a full morning win for $5, available from 5 to 11 a.m. Then later in the day, the value keeps rolling with a roasted chicken sandwich or crispy chicken sandwich created your way starting at $5. And they've even got new teriyaki recipes for a limited time. It's real food, real value, and built for busy days. No planning, no overthinking. Just swing in, grab what you need, and keep it moving. Start your day strong and fuel up whatever you need with Wawa's $5 deals. Limited time, exclusions apply. See Wawa.com for details. Gotta have a Wawa. All right, it's time for me to tell you about Xfinity and the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. What if I could offer you reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Well, that's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together and that fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Imagine Wi-Fi that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online and has all your devices working in perfect harmony. And imagine all that for 5 whole years. And the best part, there's no annual contract, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, restrictions apply. All right, everybody in the live chat, everybody watching this after it airs, whatever it might be, right at this very moment, hit the like button. I see a whole bunch of you watching live. There's going to be even more after the show. Hit the thumbs up. It costs you nothing. It takes almost 0 seconds. Just do it. It'll make me feel good about myself. All right, Kelly. Yeah. I teased going into the break. I got a question about this potentially softening your stance on Flyers head coach Rick Tocchet. What if, for the final 26 games of the season, the power play is over 20%? Now, since the first Lightning game, I believe, the Flyers are 8 for their last 41 on the power play. They're at 19.5%. We're going to do a dive on the power play on some show coming up when it's both me and Charlie back, I would assume. And Charlie is going to go back even further than that game, where this modest success, 19.5%, which is like, I don't know, as low as the bar could be to say success. Yeah. And he's going to tell you, even further back than that, there have been really good signs in terms of shot and chance metrics that show that this power play might be better than its numbers. Just like Sam Ersson.
So many things are better than the numbers.
Yeah, I love when things like the numbers are facts. That's all statistics are. This happened. It is a fact. But sometimes you're better than the facts, you know?
I'm always better than the
Anyway, maybe via shot and chance metrics, there's reason to believe this power play has some upside. And maybe they're just getting a little unlucky finishing. So, Kelly, say this team for the final 26 games is like 23% on the power play. How would that make you feel about Rick Tocchet and his staff?
I mean, I would feel really good about like presumably Trevor Zegras and Matvei Michkov, because I assume they would be scoring a lot of those
Cam
goals.
York or Jamie Drysdale, maybe?
Yeah. There would be a lot of young guys that are integral to the success of the future of this team that would have to be performing very well. That would be great. I don't know. I don't think it would change my personal opinion of Rick Tocchet.
I don't
know enough about his assistants. They seem fine. I guess if well, here's the thing. If they don't change anything about the power play and the players just start playing better, or they just start getting lucky, the coach didn't do anything. Like the coach is telling them to do the same thing that he's been telling them to do all year. The players just got better. So like,
and they finally got it.
Right. Or do I give the coach credit for that? I mean, I guess, but like if the coach, changes something dramatically and this dramatic change leads to the power play being better, like if they do something wacky, like put Risto in the Drysdale spot, like we've been talking about, or if they do some weird 5
Noah Juleson, baby.
Or if they like completely change the strategy, they start doing some weird stuff that no one's ever seen before. Like, all right, cool.
Break out a flying V every now and then.
Must have been the coach, but if the players just start executing better, same opinion.
What if it is driven by the decision to put Zegras and Michkov together? Will you at least give him credit for doing the thing we want him to do?
I will be happy if he does the thing that I want him to do. Listen. Here's the thing. You can dislike a guy's overall
I know.
thing, but identify good things that he's doing. Like, I'm not an idiot. It's not like every single thing Rick Tocchet does is going to be bad.
I know, Kelly. I just wanted to set this up in a funny way. And
I'm still going to not like
and to preview the fact that we're probably going to be talking power play sometime in the next week or so. Charlie tells me he's working on this big piece about it, and he goes away
on
for
vacation.
A month, and I don't freaking see him. It's been 3 days.
I know. Poor Charlie. He's been away for 5 minutes.
He's just like, he takes a couple of days off. We just are relentless. I am taking over the break the same number of days. They just all haven't happened yet. So I get the moral superiority.
Correct.
Until Thursday.
Plus, it's fun to bust Charlie's balls when he's not here.
There is a possibility that this power play shows signs of improvement, Kelly. I'm gonna let everyone in. I think those are gonna be Charlie's findings. Now, I might be totally wrong, and he's just playing me to say something stupid on the show, which would be very funny. But just going back a couple of weeks, I did think the power play was showing signs of improvement. I think Jamie Drysdale has put up a few points on the power play, ended even strength lately. Maybe the offense is coming around. We've said that a few times before. We'll see. But I do think there might be reason to be moderately optimistic. Again, like,
sure,
I don't think they're suddenly going to start converting at 30%, but they might not look terrible sometimes.
Not to be that guy, but I feel like this is going to make me feel the same way the idea of Sam Ersson being good would. Like, oh, now you're going to start scoring power play goals? Now we're going to start winning games by 1 goal because you know how to score on the power play? Like, why now? You're wasting my time.
Like, that at least, I will say there's one difference is, like, Sam Ersson, I have pretty much made my mind up.
100%, yeah.
Does not have a future here. Zegras, Michkov, York, Drysdale, whoever, if they start leading a competent power play, that is good for the future of the team.
This is true. That's
like last year when we were going nuts for Michkov and Forster, but also actively rooting against the team.
Yes,
like the two things at the same time, maybe they are in conflict with one another, but we contain multitudes, Kelly.
We sure do. We can hold more than 2 thoughts in our head at once, probably.
All right. We're going to get this show back on time finally and take our final break. On the other side, I'm going to ask you if you're rooting for or against Porter Martone in the NCAA tournament. Because, well, there's reasons to root against him, but there's also reasons to root for him. We'll talk about it in just 2 minutes. Let's talk about Togo. Do we really want Matvei Michkov playing goalie? No, it's not worth the risk, time, or money. It doesn't make any sense. You want to keep your stars focused on what they do best, and the same applies to your business. For small and mid-sized businesses, competing with bigger companies isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. With competition heating up, you can't afford to fall behind. AI goes way beyond ChatGPT, and it gets overwhelming fast. That's why having a trusted guide like Togo matters. Togo streamlines your operations by handling customer service, accounting, order management, logistics, admin, data entry, and even complex multi-step processes without the cost of building it all in-house. Every engagement starts with free process mapping, and Togo doesn't bill a dime until the real work begins. Programs start as low as $1,000 a month and are built for scale without breaking the bank. Visit harnesstogo.com and mention PHLY for a free operational assessment. It's time to make your home work smarter, not harder, with TrueMark. Because with a TrueMark financial home equity line of credit, you can tap into your home's equity to handle renovations, upgrades, or whatever's next on your list. A TrueMark Financial HELOC Select gives you the flexibility to borrow when you need it on your timeline. You start with a revolving line of credit, use only what you need, and when you're ready, you can lock in all or part of your balance at a fixed rate for predictable payments. You only pay interest on what you use, and as you pay it back, that credit becomes available again. No reapplying, no extra steps. And with competitive rates compared to most unsecured loans and flexible repayment options, this could be a smart move for your home and your wallet. Learn more about TrueMark Financial's home equity line of credit at TrueMark.com or stop by one of their 24 branch locations to get started. TrueMark Financial is federally insured by the NCAA and is an equal opportunity lender, NMLS 404938. And remember, let's go Flyers. All right, Kelly. We have a couple of Porter Martone questions to close out the scenario portion of today's show.
Okay.
First, now listen, there's all sorts of different ways this could go. He could come to the NHL and maybe not look dominant, but look like Denver Barkey, like, oh, yeah, he's good right away. He could go to the AHL and not dominate. Sure, that could happen. But for the purposes of this scenario, would you rather see Porter Martone get a few games at the end of the NHL season and potentially struggle, or go straight to the AHL and dominate?
This is a tough one because I feel like it would be fun to see him in the NHL. And I kind of wonder if he's going to, he seems to play a game that's going to translate well to the NHL. And he's not like a small dude. So
No.
that's good. So I don't know how much he would struggle. Obviously, you don't want to see him do poorly, but I also don't think it would really matter. That said, like the Alex bump route is kind of cool. Like I'm going to go down there and I'm going to dunk on everybody in the AHL playoffs and then I'll be up next year. Like that, I wouldn't hate that.
Now, I wouldn't mind him foregoing the AHL playoffs to be around Team Canada again at the World Championships, because he was the only, at the time, undrafted guy, like not on an NHL roster, player on Team Canada at World Championships last year. And they are, I had to look this up. I was like, wait, would they do that in an Olympic year? Because, like, we're kind of deciding the world champion right this week, right?
Right.
But no, they are doing World Championships this year, which seems odd, but whatever. They're May 15th to the 31st. The college playoffs start the NCAA tournament around March 26th to the 29th with regionals, and could go as far as April 11th. The Frozen Four is April 9th and 11th in Vegas. The Flyers have 8 games in April, only 2 after the 11th. So if he were to go that bump route and like go all the way to the final and even win it, Michigan State is the number 1 ranked team in the nation. He would have potential to play in 2 NHL games. They close the season with a back-to-back, April 13th against Carolina, April 14th against Montreal. He could get into those games. Yeah. He could just, listen, you win the Frozen Four in Vegas, something tells me you're not getting on a plane on the 12th.
Go have fun, kid.
Yeah, so maybe scheduling-wise, the AHL is what makes sense. But I wouldn't mind, like, if he just kind of took a rest after college and said, nah, I'm going to go over to Switzerland and play with Team Canada. That wouldn't really bother me.
No.
But if he were to be able to play in the NHL, especially for, like, more than 2 games, I think even if he struggles, I'd rather see that than, like, go to the freaking AHL where, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to watch him.
No, we're not going to watch
clips.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hope we're not looking at more than 2 games in the NHL because I really would like him to kind of gain the swagger that comes with winning the NCAA championship. I think that there's something that's worthwhile to him doing that.
That is something I did want to ask you in terms of, is there something to being a winner that maybe,
I think so,
like whether it's going to world championships or like Canada could win that. They haven't recently, but listen, it's Canada. They could. Or winning the Frozen Four, like winning the national championship, because he hasn't had a ton of like international or like big stage success to this point.
Yeah.
Canada lost to Denmark in the quarterfinals of the World Championships last year. Neither of his World Junior teams won gold. He won bronze as the captain this past tournament. Canada didn't even play in the medal round 2 tournaments ago. He's not exactly going to be surrounded by winners in this locker room if he comes, and I don't love the Phantoms' chances in the Calder Cup playoffs either. No. They're like currently the 5th seed in the Atlantic, I believe.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not the worst route, even though like I want to see him and there's this nagging until it happens. Like, oh, I just need him to sign and get this over with so I don't have to deal with that whole drama until like the day comes. But whether it's winning the Frozen Four or going to World Championships, yeah, those 2 things would be pretty cool.
No, I think there is something to winning a big title. I think it does something to a player. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that Alex Bump came into camp the way that he did after winning. Like, I do think that it gives players a little something. And I would like to see him get that kind of success before making. Do you think, like, let's say Michigan State gets to the final and they lose. Could you see a scenario in which he's like, no, I need to try one more time with my boys. Like, I got to go back and see.
You know, they didn't.
People start talking.
This was the exact scenario in my head that I brought up. Are we rooting for or against Michigan State? Because we saw that. Now, they didn't like get to the final and lose. It was just like an injury-plagued year with Wade Allison. And they're like, dude, if we just get this team healthy one more season, we can make a run. And then, of course, like that didn't happen. And we all know Wade Allison didn't exactly turn out. But yeah, I was thinking of this scenario where like they get to the semifinal or final and don't win. And it's like, damn, boys, like, man, we could really, I will say like their top player, Charlie Stramel, I think, from he is a Wild prospect. He's 2 goals up with 2 more games played for the team lead in goals and points on Martone. He was like a 2021 draft pick, so maybe he's like, dog, like I'm not coming back for a 4th year. Like that's just not happening. And once you lose him, it's like, well, what's the point of any of this?
That's
so maybe
true.
that helps.
Okay.
But I would be a little disappointed, like not even a little. I'd be very disappointed if that was the decision, and it would once again be like, oh, here we go.
I just think that team winning the championship, I think kind of guarantees a scenario in which he's like, yeah, it's go time. Like I'm ready to be a professional hockey player. And so I kind of just like, let's keep this transition smooth. I don't need there to be any questions. I don't want people to start talking. Like, I just don't need it. So like, let's just keep it easy with Martone.
I'll tell you, I was coming into this conversation saying, I think I'm rooting against Michigan State. Now, maybe early. Maybe if like they go out early, that's cool because then we get like maybe 10 games of him in the NHL. Yeah. But I like at least like 5 or 6. But if it does come to, oh yeah, he got to Vegas, like then I'm very much rooting for him to win, so there's no like unfinished business.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
I don't want any of that. So I think you changed my mind a little bit on that one,
look
Hanks.
at me.
Yeah, all right. I am told we have 4 super chats, so let's hit those
Wow.
now, Kelly, as
right.
we wrap up the scenarios portion of the show.
We didn't need to read
We're
this
just
one.
never going to finish these mailbag questions, quite honestly. They're from like
Someday.
Friday. It's probably not going to happen. All right, let's get to these super chats. First one is from our pal JH, and JH says, Kelly Show with all the party emojis. You had your own party with those balloons that just
Evidently, I did something
fun. No, nothing for me.
No,
I'm gonna try this like every show now. But we all do love a Kelly Show, and thanks for taking the time today, Hanks. What is going on? Are those plants behind you? Do you have a bird cage?
That's a lamp shade. It's like a rattan lampshade. You have quite a lot of plants. I'm one of those people.
Okay. I thought I didn't know if you had a bird. I thought that would be kind of funny.
It would be fun if I had a bird.
All right. Next one here is from JH. Taki has made it to France, and that's a swear word in French, right?
I believe so.
I believe you've taught me that one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is because I said France put up 12 shots on.
That's talking hockey, baby.
That's Flyers stuff.
We don't want
they've been better at that for most of the season than they were to start, but it was trending in a bad direction heading into the break.
Low event hockey, baby.
I will say, like, I do think there's a little bit of I don't know, like people want them to lose, but also they hate that Tocchet is like coaching them in a way that might cause them to lose. Like they blame him for the losing, but also losing is good.
All right, listen, let's not get too deep into this. Don't make me have logic.
I mean, long term, you want a coach who's good, and they seem pretty committed to him. But I don't know, maybe he sees like when Torts got here and was like, oh, this team's horrible. And maybe he's doing this on purpose, Kelly. Like maybe if Matvei Michkov was being treated well, the team would be just a little better. And then it's like, damn it, we're picking 14th. You know, maybe he's doing this for the good of all of us.
Oh, I wish
Philadelphia
that were true.
legend Rick Tocchet biting the bullet for the franchise.
Pittsburgh legend. Rick
Tocchet. I love it. I love how you've like. I feel like you've transferred Mark Recchi hate to Rick Tocchet.
Not all of it. I still got something from Mark Recchi.
All right. Next one here is from JH again. Check on the Ersson persons in your life. We're not okay. Listen, it was admirable.
Yes,
but I just
hitched your wagon.
It's over, man. It's over.
It's nothing you did. It's him, not you.
This isn't a judgment of you as a human being. It's just sometimes guys make it, sometimes guys don't. He got a chance, and this is probably the way it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't think anything in these final 26 is gonna change my mind. All right. Next one is from David Shub. Remember when TK was like, we got 2 good goalies? Listen, what's he gonna say? Like, is he gonna criticize his buddy?
No.
Like Leon Draisaitl, one of the best players in the world, and when he speaks, everyone should be like, yeah, it's the truth, because he's like one of the best players in the world. He's one of the only reasons we're any good at all. He criticized his goalie and coaches, and then the next day had to come out and be like, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean it. I was possessed by the devil. Like, they're just not going to criticize their buddies, and that's fine. That's fine.
They shouldn't.
Right, we are now headed to overtime. Go to allphly.com to keep watching. I was just looking at the clock at the top of my screen. I don't know if it was actually time or if that's right. But there
you go.
We miss the buzzer when you're gone, Kelly. But yeah, like the players aren't going to criticize their teammates.
No.
It's totally okay. In public, there does need to be, as Rick Tocchet pointed out, like accountability in the room. That's something that I do think comes with time and maturity. They don't need to tell me what they actually think of the goalie. That's fine.
I do wonder though, like, does that behavior, like, does that treatment extend to goaltenders? Like, I wonder, like, if your goalie is like in a slump, are you really going to be like, you got to make a save, like the way that you would to a forward who's not scoring goals? Like, I wonder, just because goalies are so weird.
I think you'd handle it maybe differently.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, bud, we got you. We need you this period. Like, You put that one behind you, and this one, new game. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I was bad. I got in a fist fight with my goalie once.
I bet he deserved it.
His fault, mostly.
Totally.
Yeah. He got pulled, and I did it, and I started banging my stick on the ice. Oh, it was a bad ride home. I'm, like, best friends with him. Anyway.
Once again, when are you writing the movie William? Your life is a Kevin Smith movie.
Do we have any more? It does not appear that we do. That is it. So that is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers, presented by Bet365. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page. And if you're watching this after it airs, I want to ask you to leave your questions for the next mailbag in the comments. This is how I'm going to start doing mailbags, where I'm going to just, in the comments of every show, after it airs, I'm going to go back, check it out, pull some questions, and then just start building up a list. So it's not like a mad scramble every time I want to do a mailbag show. It's like, oh, I got to go to Twitter and ask. We're going to do it right here on the YouTube page. So subscribe, like, and leave a comment. All right. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, though, at PHLY_Flyers, and follow the podcast wherever you get those. And check out BroadStreetHockey.com. It's pretty damn good as well. I am Bill. That is Kelly. Thanks, as always, to Brenna. Be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the man.